Now, one thing that I want to start off by saying that Haya is not only for women. And this is a major misunderstanding of the concept of Haya. And as you know, that we started with the hadith about the Prophet ﷺ having Haya. We've all heard the hadith about Uthman radiallahu anh, that Uthman radiallahu anh had so much Haya that the Prophet said, among all the companions, Uthman had the most. And what was his level of Haya? He gave us the example. We have the hadith where one day the Prophet was sitting, and in our modern terminology, he was sitting wearing shorts. Okay, he's sitting at home, sitting with his friends. His thigh is uncovered, right? So in our time, we would be like somebody wearing shorts at home. And Uthman wants to come in, and the Prophet ﷺ first fixes his izar and covers his thigh. And he says, now let Uthman come in. And Aisha radiallahu anha said, Ya Rasulullah, not for Abu Bakr, not for Umar, why for Uthman? And he said that his haya is so much that, I'm paraphrasing, that Uthman would not be able to sit here because a man's thigh is shown. This is his level of inner haya. He would not be comfortable. So in order to make him comfortable, I am doing something. Now this also shows us another, every hadith shows us so many different things. It shows, the scholars say that if a man is at home and he's sitting with his trustworthy friends, other men, if they are in a backyard swimming pool, and let's say they are wearing shorts, their thighs show sometimes, it's halal if they are within a trustworthy environment. If there's no chance of fitna, then the thigh of a man is not awra for another man. Okay? So Uthman radiallahu anh is described as someone having haya. Also, we will see today, inshallah, if we can get to that within our time, the story of Musa alayhi salam in the Quran is a story about Haya, that when he comes to Madian and what he does with these two women that he sees, and all of what happens between them, we'll look at that as a case study, inshallah. So Haya is not only needed for women, it is needed for men just as much as it is needed for. And this idea that perhaps women have to have Haya is perhaps one of those corrupted cultural understandings that have crept into our religious circles, where the point that I want to make is that somebody sent me a message and I appreciate that message and I responded to